Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No. It's my business taking flight.
It's time to level up.
How are you doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Level Up Barber podcast. My name is Bradford Kelly, and I am the owner of Another Level of Barbering. And as I always say, the Level Up Barber podcast has one goal. I am trying to make sure that I inspire you all to level up in your mind and to inspire you to think higher about your business and to think higher as a professional, because as businesses, we can always level up. And so today, you know, I do not like to waste any time. We're going to get straight into it. Today's topic is goal setting. Setting goals. And this is a topic that is near and dear to my heart because it is something that I actually had to learn how to grow and do. I was someone that would reach a goal somewhat and then eventually just kind of live in that state for so long that the goal wasn't even a success story anymore. And so I went through this a lot in life because for me, success was a destination. It was not the journey. It was not the process. I had to learn personally that goal setting was a major responsibility of mine to make sure that I kept growing. And so as I began to get older and I began to go through different things, I found these 5 principles for growth. And so these are the things that I'm going to be sharing with you today about how to set goals properly. And so what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about the power of frustration. We're going to talk about identifying frustration. We're going to talk about setting goals, because setting goals is in the midst of growth. It's in the midst of it. It's not the beginning of whatever you're trying to do. So we're going to talk about setting goals. We're going to talk about predicting or foreseeing obstacles so that you can plan against them. And last but not least, we're going to go over investing in action so that you can achieve the goals that you have set for yourself. So let's dive into the power of frustration. And the reason why I like this is because I like to say that there is power in frustration. It's the best power that you can use. And a lot of times people want to get motivated. People want to be inspired. Like I told you in the beginning of this episode that I want to inspire you, right? Inspiration only literally goes so far. Excitement only goes so far because excitement, inspiration, it really doesn't give you a targeted approach. When you are excited about anything, you really lose the ability to focus. You're easily distracted when you have energy for no reason. You can use motivation to get you to become active, but you can become active and not be productive. And so my goal in today's session is to encourage you to think higher, right? Think higher. If you want to really accomplish something, you need to tap into your frustrations. You need to understand, and we're talking about business. Remember this. This whole thing is about barbers and cosmetologists, anybody in the beauty industry, right? We are talking about business. So if you are trying to grow in your business, you need to tap into the frustrations of your business. So let's go into what the power of frustration does. The power of frustration will cause you to focus. It'll cause you to act. Frustration will cause you to change. Frustration will cause you to triumph, and frustration will cause you to eventually stabilize and settle down again. Because when you begin to get frustrated, it's like a fly. It's like a hair splinter. It's something that annoys you, but you could live with it if you really wanted to, but you don't. It's like, man, what is that fly? Right? So how does frustration cause you to focus? If you have ever been eating and a fly comes past your ear, do you realize how fast you respond to that? And the ability that your mind is trying to get you to focus on what was so distracting? And sometimes in business, this is what happens to us. We may be dealing with something in business, and it's something that just comes and goes for a second. And it'll get our attention, and we'll be irritated with it. We might be irritated with the way that clients come late. I'm going to get into the being able to identify it later. But you realize that frustration will actually cause you to focus. It'll cause you to pay attention to what's going on. It'll cause you to act. You will respond. Sometimes with frustration, you'll respond. You may go off on a client. You may do something without planning, right? You might just do because you were frustrated. And so it'll cause you to change. Frustration will cause you to start doing things different. If you have a hair splinter and you get it and it's like, where is that? You looking for it. And then you might see it, but you can't get to it. Really, you can't. So you might change the way you operate. You might put some tape on that thing. You might put a glove on so that it doesn't pull every time you're moving up and down on something. You might change your seat. Going back to the fly example, a fly keep coming by. You might move where you sitting at so that you can enjoy what you're eating, enjoy what you're doing. And so you might change your scenario, even though you haven't triumphed yet, but you're going to address this situation some kind of way. You're going to change your scenario. Then eventually, through your trials of changing, you will triumph. You will succeed. You will either kill that fly, you will get that hair splinter out your thumb, out your finger, wherever it's at. You will be able to succeed at getting rid of the frustration. But that's only because you focused on it. And last but not least, when you triumph over something, you will begin to stabilize. It'll allow you to actually get back into your normal routines that you were doing and probably operate in a better way, in a more efficient way, in a way that causes you to add more value, in a way that causes you to actually make more money. So if you are able to tap into the frustration, if you realize that you are frustrated, then you are actually in the greatest position to grow. You are in the greatest position to change your life because you have something that you want to get away from. That is the power of frustration. Excitement doesn't do that. Excitement gives you energy to act. But frustration gives you an energy to act on something specific. You will eliminate a problem if you are frustrated. You will wander around aimlessly and probably never achieve the goals that you say that you want if you were only operating off of excitement, off of motivation, off of inspiration. Find your frustration. So let's get into how to identify your frustrations, because this is a major aspect of how we're going to be able to grow. Once you realize that you do have some business frustrations, what are they? Yes, I get frustrated when I'm at work. Why though? What's your reason why? What is it? Are you frustrated with your marketing? Being able to brand yourself? Are you frustrated with being able to explain who you want to come to you? Are you frustrated with being able to attract the right people? Are you frustrated with the people that you have in your chair not matching the energy that you want to come? Are you frustrated with your OPO meter? That's what I call it. Other people's opinions of you. They may say things to you about how you're supposed to do better in business, and they've never done business themselves. They're not truly successful themselves. They're giving you their opinions, but yet not really helping you. Are you frustrated with that? Are you frustrated with trying to understand what you're supposed to do, but yet you never really do? Are you frustrated with that? Are you staying up late at night trying to look and scroll through Instagram, scroll through YouTube, trying to figure out what it is that you might need to do, so you're just looking at other people's opinions? Are you frustrated with just social media in general? Having to engage with the clientele or whoever is on your page so that you can stay within the algorithm and make sure that you get your post likes and you posting. Are you frustrated with that? Are you frustrated with the whole conversion of a customer to a client? We know that customers are people that come and give us money, but we have no relationship with them. I always try to identify a client as someone that has come to see me 3 times consecutively, and I can feel that they have chosen me to be their primary barber. That's how I associate clients. A customer can come and go visit other people and different things, and they might like me, but I'm not their primary, nor am I somebody that they try and be consistent with. Are you frustrated with that whole customer to client conversion? Are you even able to identify the type of clients that you have? You all know that I talk about the 4 types of clients: casual, charismatic, consistent, and your champs. Are you able to identify the clients? And are you frustrated with not being able to identify the clients that you have? These are all different types of frustrations that we all deal with as business professionals. And then people cancel, reschedule, no show on you. Are you frustrated with that? Are you frustrated with the consistency of gaps on your schedule? Are you frustrated with the end of your week being busy, but the middle of your week or the beginning of your week is kind of, yeah, that's what it is, a little, It's a little, Are you frustrated with that? Are you frustrated with the business relationships that you have with your clientele? Are you frustrated that they might not have a respect for you as a business? They don't respect that you are a business. They don't even see you as a business. How do you fix that? Are you frustrated with that? That people are texting you all times of night and asking you, when can you squeeze them in? Can you stay late? Oh, I forgot to text you. I forgot to respond. Are you frustrated with all of that back and forth? How do you deal with it? Are you frustrated with your finances? Not earning the amount of money that you feel that you deserve based on the time and the energy that you're putting into your profession? Is going up on your prices the only way that you see being able to make more money? Because you're going to continue to run into a ceiling if that's your solution to the problem. If that's your fix to your frustration is going up on your prices all the time, you're going to be frustrated even more because you are actually building a ceiling for yourself every time you go up on your prices. But a lot of times people go up on their prices out of frustration. They just act. It's not a change for the better. They're just doing something because they're frustrated. Are you frustrated with no stability? You don't know really what's coming and what's going. You don't have any systems in place so that you can make sure that you understand the inputs, the processes, and the outputs. Are you frustrated with growth? Are you frustrated with freedom? Let me explain quickly the difference between stability, growth, and freedom. And this is some of the things that I actually teach. Stability has to do with you understanding systems enough so that you can create a way for you to work smarter and not harder. A lot of people that are prior to being stable are working very hard. And they're working hard for the money. That's going to last for as long as you have the energy to do so. But eventually you're going to get burnt out. And eventually you are going to run into the ceiling. And the ceiling is your time, your body, and your energy. And this is what everybody deals with. You need to understand stability. You need to understand the systems that you need to get in place so that you can at least allow yourself to work smarter and not harder. Growth has to do with you making more money while working less. I'm going to flip it so that you can hear what I said. Growth has to do with you working less and making more money. That's different than working smarter, not harder. Working less and making more money is what growth is about. And last but not least is freedom. Freedom has to do with you being able to work because you want to, not because you have to. A lot of times when we are in this scenario in our profession, we work because we have to. I need to work so that I can make the money necessary so that I can pay the bills that I have, and that way I can do what I want. Because we don't have retirement. We don't have retirement. Retirement is something that is given to you by a company. You have a business. But a person that has a business is someone that has been able to separate themselves from the work that needs to be done and understands the operations necessary for them to be able to not have to work. That's what I teach in Freedom. Anyways, so let's move on. That was just a side tangent, but it was a good tangent for you to actually understand what it is that we do at another level of barbering and why I'm so passionate about helping people. So now that we've gone through the power of frustration. And I've given just a good overview of a lot of different ways that you could be frustrated, and you're able to identify those frustrations. Now we're going to talk about setting goals. And am I going to talk long on setting goals? No, I'm not, because setting goals is really your ability to escape the frustrations that you have. I'm going to say that one more time. The reason you set a goal is to escape a frustration you have. You're not just going to try and make more money. What does that mean? Man, I just want to make some more money. That's all. That's my goal, bro. That's my goal, man. I just want to make some more money. Man, I'm just trying to go on vacations more. To just be able to kind of live my life. You know what I mean? I just want to live my life. That's not a goal. We could talk about short-term goals. We could talk about long-term goals. We could talk about destination type goals, like completion goals, things that you want to achieve. Boom, let's do this. And then we could also talk about consistency goals, things that you wanted to get into a rhythm of. But let's just simplify it. A goal is so that you can escape a frustration. If you can identify your frustration, you can use that power to set a goal. And because you understand that, what do you need to do? You need to be able to predict or foresee the obstacles that may come up against you. Anytime that you set a goal, this goes with anybody. It's not special. You're not special. You're not that special. I'm not that special. Anybody that sets a goal is going to have some obstacles that come up in their way. And you need to understand the difference between internal obstacles and external obstacles. Because these are the two obstacles that everybody faces, internal and external. If you are able to actually identify what it is that you do, you can plan against the obstacles that you know is already going to come up. There might be some stuff that you are unaware of, but there might be some stuff that you know. You do this. And I'm not going to allow this to stop me. When you're frustrated enough, you will blow through an obstacle. Because it's going to bother you so much. You're trying to get away from something. You're not just wandering, hoping to make something happen. You're looking for a way out. One of the first things about internal obstacles you have to realize is that you are going to face fear. Fear is just an emotional response to something that is in front of you. A lot of people use the acronym false evidence appearing real. I like forget everything and run. I like forget everything and riot. And then a lot of people don't talk about the forget everything and relax. When they talk about fear, they talk about fight or flight. But don't forget, people faint too. You can fight and you can flight. You can take off. But those both take energy to do that. But the ones that give up energy and just give up, those are the people that faint. They can't fight or run. They just paralyze themselves and don't do anything. And so there's this funny story, because this is exactly what my wife did when we was about to. She almost burnt the house down. Do not tell her I'm telling you this. Shh. So here it is. I come home, right, and I'm just having a great day, feeling good, singing some songs, and I open the door, smoke everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, what in the world? So I walk in the house. I'm like, what's going on? And I look at her, and she's looking at a pot on fire, just on fire, and just looking. And I'm like, what are you doing? Okay, what is this? What's in the pot? I needed to know what was in the pot so that I could put it out some kind of way. If it was grease, then I knew I couldn't put water in it. I was going to have to use flour or something like that. But she told me whatever it was that it didn't have grease in it, whatever she called it. And so I was just like, okay, so I put it in the sink, turn the water on, all this smoke going everywhere. I'm about to pass out. And I look back at her, and she is on the ground, on her knees, just looking. She just on the ground looking. And I'm like, what are you doing? What she did was she forgot everything and relaxed. You cannot do that in business. You can't forget everything and just not do anything. You have to learn how to allow your emotions not to stop you. You can't let fear stop you from reaching your goals. You can't let fear block you from achieving the things that you're setting in front of yourself so that you can escape a problem that you're dealing with in business. You don't want to let fear of change, fear of other people's opinions, fear of success. Sometimes people are afraid to succeed because they don't know if they can keep up with the success that they were able to achieve. Some people are afraid of failing so much that they won't do anything. Some people are afraid of the fact that people may have an opinion. Their OPO meter is way too high. You're thinking about other people's opinions way too much. So you want to make sure that you don't let fear stop you. But this is an obstacle. This is an internal obstacle, something that's on the inside. Another internal obstacle is self-ignorance. Being able to know what is your strengths and weaknesses. If you are ignorant to what your own goodness is and even what your own weaknesses are, then you're limited in regards to how much you can do. You're limited into understanding why people value you. You don't even appreciate what other people appreciate about you. So if you did something, you may feel like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I don't think I can do that. You're operating from self-doubt. But that's because you have not become aware, personally aware of your strengths and weaknesses. There are some things about everybody that is powerful. Powerful. Things that'll shake the earth if you really tapped into it. So don't be self-ignorant. If you realize this is an obstacle that you can actually plan against. If you are realizing that you operate from a place of mediocrity where you are not willing to be excellent. A lot of us do this, where we won't put our best foot forward because we just don't know what's going to happen. And so we might as well not give it our all because it could bomb. It could fall. It could fail, but it could work. And so excellence means to go above and beyond. A lot of us don't want to do that, but we really have to understand how not to let our unwillingness to be excellent stop us from moving forward and achieving goals. And last but not least is insecurity. Insecurity is one of the most crippling internal obstacles that you can have, is because you are always going to be looking for validation from something that is without you, something that is outside of you. You're always going to be looking for someone to pat you on the back, tell you you did a good job. And I've dealt with all of this. I've dealt with all of it. I've seen my insecurities. I've seen the areas where I feel like I'm mediocre, or I'm just not willing to go above and beyond. I've had to tackle these things for me to be at the place that I'm in business. I felt self-ignorance, where I didn't know what I was good at. I didn't know what I was bad at, and couldn't even strengthen myself in those things. And I felt with fear. I've dealt with fear. I've dealt with not feeling confident, having no courage. Courage is not the ability to do. Like, that's not it. The courage is the steps you take in the midst of fear. Knowing that you're afraid of something, what do you do, or how do you move through the fear that you have? That's what courage is. Not just, I don't care about fear. I don't have no fear. That's false. If you don't have no fear, then you're not human. Yeah, I said it. You're a robot if you have no fear. But if you do have fear, the people that show themselves courageous are the ones that are able to develop the attributes to press through fear. They learn what they need to learn so that they can get through the fear. That is the courage, not the fact that they overcame the fear. I'm no longer afraid of heights. No, I'm no longer afraid of speaking in public. No, it's not that. It's that I am afraid of speaking in public. And these are the things that I need to do to prepare myself so that I can still speak in public. That is what courage is. And so I didn't have those things, and I had to develop those things over time. It might be you right now that says, nah, I can't do it. I'm not able to. I'm not used to it. That's uncomfortable. Good. Identify that that's where you at, and use this podcast to snap out of it. Tell yourself that you can do it. Tell yourself that you're not going to let fear stop you. Tell yourself that you're not going to be ignorant to yourself and what you can and can't do. Tell yourself that you're not going to allow yourself to just be mediocre and just be somebody that just tries to get by, but you're going to start to strive for excellence. At least right now, in this frustration, you're going to try and go above and beyond. Make sure that you don't allow yourself to be stuck in insecurities. Make sure that you learn how to empower yourself, strengthen yourself from within. Use this podcast to do it. Help yourself with it. Tap into something that you can put inside of yourself so that you will not allow the validation of others to stop you. You validate yourself, not from saying I'm the greatest thing of all time, but put things inside of you. Learn something. Invest in your mind. Once you are able to see the internal obstacles, then we have to address the external obstacles. The external the external obstacles that we all kind of deal with sometimes is our finances. Robert Kiyosaki is brilliant at talking about the mindset of the rich and the mindset of the poor. He talks about his rich dad and his poor dad, and his poor dad always used to say the phrase, "I can't do that. I don't have enough money for that. Does money grow on trees?" And his rich dad would say, "How can I make the money to get this? How can I accomplish this? Because I don't have it right now, but that don't mean that I can't get it. So how do I do it?" And that's the difference between the mindset of the poor and the rich. How do you think? Those are the people that succeed in life, is the ones that figure out how to do it, not the people that say that they can't. If you realize, oh, I don't have enough money. You say, oh man, I don't have enough skills. You're like, man, I need to learn this craft. I need to increase my knowledge and understanding about how to do this particular job. You might need information. You might need education. You might need guidance. Like, what's the difference between them three, Brad? What's the difference? Information is education and guidance. What are you talking about? No, you're wrong. You are wrong. Let me clear it up for you. Information is to tell you what and why. That's what information is. Education has to do with telling you how, or explaining to you how to achieve something. And last but not least is guidance. Guidance has to do with when somebody is able to actually walk you through where, when, and how to accomplish what it is that you want to do. A lot of us need a lot of education and a lot of guidance because we are a lot of times inundated with too much information. We're getting so much information thrown at us that it's easily to be distracted. You need to at least tap into some form of education so that you can actually understand how to accomplish something. And then at the greatest point is find somebody that's trying to give you wisdom. That's the guidance. Really give you wisdom on how to do things, where to do things, when to do things, because that'll cause you to be successful. When you are thinking about the external obstacles and the internal obstacles that you are able to see, you are now in the position for you to be able to invest in action. You cannot identify your frustrations, feel the power of it, set a goal, realize that there's obstacles internal and external, and then not do nothing about it. The goal is set so that you can take action. The obstacles are forecasted and predicted so that you can plan against it and overcome. And so I want to inspire you. I hope this is really encouraging you. I hope it doesn't come off as hard. But sometimes we need hard words. We need to have those hard shakeups, those things that shake our minds, that cause us to adjust the way that we're thinking, because we want to grow. We really do. We really want to do this. However, sometimes it's things that's within us that stop us. Sometimes it's the things that are without that makes us stop. So now we about to attack this thing. Investing has to do with you sacrificing. It has to do with you giving up something. You have to invest. Some of it you have to invest time. You just got to put time into it. You might have to put time into understanding what it is that you want to understand. right? You might have some skills that you really, really need. So you might need to invest some time in practicing, or you might need to invest some money in taking a class so that you can actually learn this skill better. You might need to invest in education. Have somebody explain how to achieve this so that you can get out of this frustration that you're in. You might need to sacrifice your own desires, stuff that you want to do. I want to do this. I want to buy these shoes. I want to buy this. I want to go here. I want to do this. You might need to hold off for a second. Delay your gratification for a second so that you could achieve and get out of this frustration you're dealing with. You might need to sacrifice being carefree. There should always be something that you care about. Do you care about being able to be free? Like, not care about not doing nothing, but care about living a life where you can do what it is that you want. Do you care about that? Do you care about making sure that you spend time with the people that you love? Do you care about having the ability to enjoy your life and have some excitement in your life? Do you care about learning new things and bringing new information, new experiences into your life so that you can always be free? Like you're carefree now, and really you need to care so that you can be free. I hope this is inspiring you. Like, I'm actually super excited based on talking about this, because I was able to do these things. Like, the 5 principles of growth was applied to my life personally. I did this stuff. And then in 2019, I was actually able to triumph. I changed my whole booking strategy. I changed everything about what I was doing, and it transformed my business completely. I am now making so much more money than what I was when I started doing this. I literally am living a life of freedom. I work because I want to, not because I have to. I have exceeded only working smarter and not harder. I've exceeded being able to work less and make more. Now I'm working because I want to, not because I have to. Even in the things that I am accomplishing now, it's because I go through these 5 steps for growth. 5 principles of growth. Tap into these, because this will actually help you to achieve any goal that you set in your life for your business. Again, my name is Bradford Kelly, and I hope that you all enjoyed today's podcast. I'm not going to keep you any longer. If you liked what you heard, please like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, leave a comment, because I do get in there, and please share with a friend. Share with somebody that's in business like you. Share with another barber. Share with another cosmetologist that is in the struggle with you. If they're trying to set goals in their life, send this podcast to them. Let them know that there's something on the way. Flight School for Barbers is coming. Flight School for Barbers is on its way. It will help you to stabilize. It will help you to grow, and it will help you to build the freedom that you want in your life as a business professional. So this podcast was here today to hopefully inspire you to think higher as a business, think higher as a professional, because as businesses, we can always level up. So is it a bird? Is it a plane? No. It's your business taking flight. Have a good one. I'll talk to you on the next one.